Before we begin, make sure to subscribe for more stories like this. The ballroom was alive with laughter, rich and rolling, weaving through the clinking glasses and the soft hum of conversations. A jazz trio played from the corner stage, the low notes lingering in the warm air. I held my wine glass, forcing a laugh of the others, when I saw him, Daniel. He stood near the entrance, half in shadow, his eyes fixed on me. My heart stuttered. He wasn't supposed to be here. This was my company's annual gala. Strictly employees and pre-approved guests. I had told him that. And yet there he was, shoulders squared, expression calm, eyes unblinking. Then I understood. He had seen. Greg's hand rested lightly on the small of my back. Just a professional, casual gesture, or so I had told myself. But Daniel knew better. I watched the subtle changes in his posture, the tightening of his jaw, the slow rise and fall of his chest. He didn't shout. He didn't make a scene. He simply turned and walked out. And that quiet departure cut deeper than any confrontation could. Just an hour earlier, everything had been perfect. Greg, charming and charismatic as always, had commanded the room effortlessly. He had been my mentor, my guide, and lately, something far more complicated. It hadn't started as an affair. It began with long hours, shared dinners, laughter that lingered too long. I told myself it was harmless. Meanwhile, Daniel had been distant, lost in work, exhausted, barely speaking. Somewhere along the way, I had mistaken Greg's attention for affection. But none of that mattered now. Seeing Daniel leave shattered everything. I drove home that night, calling him over and over. No answer. I left the party early, ignoring puzzled looks from my coworkers. At home, the house was silent, hollow. His truck was gone. His shoes vanished from the hallway. Even our wedding photo, the one with petals falling around us, was missing. On the bed lay a single note. Don't call me. No anger. No accusations. Just the cold precision of finality. I sank to the floor and cried until my throat burned. 3 days passed. No word. I called his sister, his best friend, even his manager. All said the same thing. Daniel was quiet, hurting, and unreachable. The silence was unbearable. His coffee mug still sat by the sink. His scent lingered faintly in the rooms, a ghost of presence. Every morning, I hoped he would return, that the door would open and he would walk in. But he never did. I realized then what kind of man Daniel was. Not one to explode in anger. One who simply left and never looked back. On the 4th day, Greg came to my door. Uneasy, hands shoved in pockets, he whispered, "I just wanted to check on you. Are you okay?" I stared at him, feeling a chill. He saw us. I said quietly. Greg sighed. "Emma, it's not a big deal. He'll calm down." I almost laughed. "You don't know him. He's not coming back," I said, when Greg reached for my hand. I pulled away. Whatever warmth I once felt for him had turned to disgust. "Please leave," I said. "You've done enough." 2 weeks later, still nothing from Daniel. Then his sister called. "He's in a motel by the lake," she said. "He doesn't want to see anyone. He just says, 'You're broken.'" That word shattered me. That night, I drove to the lake. His truck was parked outside one of the cabins. I stood frozen before knocking. When he opened the door, I barely recognized him. Unshaven, red-eyed, drained. But it wasn't anger that scared me. It was emptiness. "What are you doing here?" His voice was low, rough. "I needed to see you," I whispered. "Please, just listen. Nothing happened with Greg. It was just—" He laughed bitterly. "Don't. I saw enough. Daniel, I made a mistake. I admitted," tears streaming. "I was lonely." His voice sharpened. "So you let another man put his hands on you in front of everyone?" "It wasn't like that," I tried to explain. "It was a mistake." He shook his head, eyes glistening with pain. "I loved you, Emma. God, I tried. I worked myself to the bone for us. And you made me the fool. I'll fix this," I pleaded. "You can't," he said, closing the door. Time blurred after that. Daniel filed for divorce. My calls went unanswered, my letters ignored. Greg reached out again, but I couldn't bear it. I left my job, sold a house, and moved into a small apartment. Every night, I replayed the moment I saw Daniel across the ballroom, his expression breaking my heart. 6 months later, I saw him at a grocery store. He looked healthier now, stronger. A woman laughed beside him, brushing his arm. Our eyes met for a brief second. No hate, no bitterness, just peace. He gave a small nod and walked away. His hand rested on her back, just as Greg's had on mine, but this time it was real. A year has passed. People say time heals, but perhaps it only dulls the pain enough to move forward. I am rebuilding piece by piece. Therapy, a small job, a quieter life. Some wounds never fully close. They fade into silence. A few months ago, an envelope arrived. No return address. Inside was our missing wedding photo. On the back, in Daniel's handwriting, 3 words. I did love you. I held it for hours, realizing that real love doesn't scream. It doesn't beg. It simply exists, steady, quiet, and deep. And when it leaves, it doesn't slam doors. It walks away softly, leaving behind a memory that lingers, even in silence.